Hello, 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 hello. It's Magic with Melly. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I am cleft-handed. I'm a card reader, and I welcome you. If you're new or old, just take care during this time. Dogs. Dogs are significant for us here in the collective, or even just wondering about our divine offerings, our opportunities from God, source given situations. We're channeling some of this out, understanding our placements. There's lots of change occurring in the collective, either willingly or unwillingly. How much of each is unique and specific for each individual? But change is inevitable. Change is going to happen whether we want it to or not. And we could really navigate our offers and our opportunities for our highest good, and work towards that, and just fall into the universe's guidances and what the universe has in store for us. I think that if you have things falling apart, you ought to let it, so that good things can fall into place for you. I have plenty of cards out to shuffle live, so these are going to be our live shuffle cards. I have a stack of pre-shuffled cards and more synchronicities for later. If you're interested in that, we'll tune into that later on. For now, we have the Synchronicities deck by previously named the Aura Unicorn. We have White Rose Guidance, Divine Love Messages. We have Messages of Love Oracle cards by All Things Intuitive. We have the Food Fortunes cards and the Wise Dog Tarot. Now, you guys may resonate with dogs or have a dog or mini dogs around you. Now, dogs have, just like many animals and humans, have different types of personalities, but we recognize dogs as really loyal. Their animal totem, spirit animal energy is of loyalty. But then we also see a totally polar opposite energy, of which someone who may be deemed a dog may be a horn dog. They may be horny. They may have sex with anything that moves. Or maybe not that, not that dramatic, but to some degree, we do experience dogs that have differing energies. And in this extreme case, we're talking about loyalty versus disloyalty. Maybe placements of, maybe in your situation or relationship, you're curious about someone's loyalty, where loyalties lie. And it could even be in a workplace or in your family place, where you see love and energy in placements of loyalty maybe placed elsewhere, or expectation of where it should go. Certain things just don't line up. Certain things don't add up. And we're really trying to just calculate what's coming in and why. If it's a karmic situation, if it's a godly opportunity, we're going to check it out. We're going to channel out the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, all things in between. Really figuring out our personal loyalties, where we should be showing up better and higher in our personal lives. How to take in the positive attributes of what being a dog represents to us, especially as humans. They are wonderful companions. So maybe this energy surrounding finding a really good companion, or even a good dog, a dog that is your partner, that is your friend. Maybe your partner isn't necessarily another person, but maybe you're like the love of your life, or the loves in your life are more so animals. Or if you're dealing with humans, we'll work with that as well. But I'm really just trying to channel everything out, have this understanding with ourselves and others and our placements in life. And so with everything that's been said, check out my description box for links. Check out my description box for social media and, you know, anything related to Magic with Melly, it will be there. So I look forward to connecting to you guys today. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to clear space so we can begin to read on the situation. I'm hearing first I should get out tarot, so I will do that. And as well, if you noticed to begin with, I had stones on the decks. These stones are all, they're glass, it's moldavite glass. So just facilitating all the protection and change that is needed in your circumstances is what I'm here for. So, and that's what moldavite's there for as well. So actually, let's start with food, because before anyone can process anything or do anything, we should be nurturing ourselves, feeding ourselves, watering ourselves, whether it be drinking water or bathing. So I'm going to leave that there, shuffle out what's going on for the collective, and we are intending that no evil spirits shall penetrate us or this reading or the collective while we're working things through. We are communicating with our spirit allies only on behalf of the highest good of the collective. Remember that any messages that come out that aren't yours, that they're probably here for somebody else and it's validating for them. So do not invalidate anybody in anybody's situation. Everyone's story is their own. So take your story and leave someone else's story to be heard. Okay, so we have the slurp. We have the extra firm one. We have Knight of Drinks. We have Ace of Mains, the New Englander, and the Straight Shooter reverse coming out, and Ace of Sides. This is a next moldavite. What's here for the collective? What does the collective need to validate this reading for the collective? What's going on and what are they needing to know surrounding their situation? We have the Hermit and Page of Cups reverse. Clarify, keep clarifying this reading, please, with the Knight of Drinks and the Ace of Mains. Please tell me what's up with that energy. Okay, it's making me pick it up off the floor. And like, how does this want to go? Okay, I'll take it like this. It's a Five of Pentacles. Messages for the collective. Let's see what else is here for the collective. I'm going to get back of the deck right now. This looks like a Six of Swords back of the deck. This is Ace of Swords and the Sun. See, before I flipped this one over, I thought this card was the Sun, but I'm happy to see the Sun still. Even though it wasn't the initial card, I thought the Sun is still out here, so that's wonderful. The sun still shines every day, even when you don't see it. The sun is still blazing every day, even though you don't see it. So that's probably like that energy that just happened with the cards, and my message probably is just really synchronistic with how you guys should be behaving towards self. Practice your best self even when no one is seeing it, even when, like, this would be like putting yourself together, getting ready for the day, getting, you know, an outfit together, a skincare routine, maybe a makeup routine. Not everyone will have a makeup routine, but some sort of self-care routine, because you deserve it, not the other people that you do it for. I mean, they do, like, you know, they do enjoy it, but it's like, it's not really for them. The energy should be for you. The slurp, the extra firm one. If you guys will give me a short minute. Okay, I'm back, friends. Sorry about that. I could not do the reading sitting how I was, so I needed to take a minute and release the energy that needed to be released. And by that I meant a quick stretch and a pee. Just, yeah. And I don't mind you guys knowing about personal stuff. Like, we're all human here. We don't need to hide that we need to drink and pee and poop and fart and burp and clean ourselves. Like, that is a part of being, it's also part of being human. So before I now fully read what's here, we have the slurp and we have the Page of Cups reverse. So this energy is really getting me that in your situation, you're able to take a sip. You're able to take like a little, you're able to take a slurp, like a taste, like enough of a taste to know that this is what you want, but then something happened because of someone being stuck in their ways. With the extra firm one and the Hermit is really getting me someone stuck in their ways. And so because someone was stuck in their ways, maybe stuck in their head, stuck, just maybe literally stuck. I remember working in the food industry, working with some tofu packets. And they were literally just so hard to open. Like, when you opened the plastic from the top of the packaging, the tofu was in liquid. So then when you ripped open the packaging, all the tofu liquid would just pour out everywhere. It was awful to open up a new tofu packet. And then next you kind of had to like flop it and jiggle it, and and then cutting tofu, if you've ever done that, it's so delicate and so squishy. So I think that's resonant with the people or the person or yourself. Maybe you resonate with being hard on the outside and soft on the inside, like hard to get through, like this tofu energy that I'm getting there. And literally the back of the card looks like the Great Wall of China if I were to like bring in some similarities. So it's like this really interesting thing where you may be dealing with someone who has Asian interests or is actually Asian themselves, or maybe they just resonate with just that energy I was just saying about being hard on the outside, soft on the inside. Some people really have a hard exterior to pretend that they're not so soft on the inside. And it's so silly when people do that, because you could really tell like who's who, who's what, or what's happening most often in the aftermath. I think that phrase, hindsight is 2020, it hits real hard right here. And it's like, I think it was this thing where your person or you in the situation wanted a taste, and then they got a bit too much, and then they're overwhelmed. With this Knight of Drinks, I'm getting maybe there is a control issue with alcohol, maybe not knowing your limits or others' limits, struggling with how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your person, how to take care of everyone involved. And it's this thing where we have so many aces here. We have Ace of Mains, another ace here, and another ace there. So it's just like, notice how if of all soups, we have this condensed flavored soup. So it's like there was communication that was very impactful here. Very, very impactful here. And it may have been even chunky and salty and had, like with this New Englander card, I'm getting like when you have like a clam chowder bowl, you know it's good when to like, it's like this interesting phenomenon with it where it's like, you know it's good when it has sand in it. And it's like, why does that make it good? And it's because it's so fresh. It's literally like, with the closer you are to the beach, the closer you are to actually where clam chowder is made at his home, the more sand you'll get in your clam chowder. That's the thing. And I think that's the real honest energy here, is that the best things have those little quirks, that have those little things that make them very niche and very perfect for people who love it. And that's like understanding that your flaws are just as lovable as the perfect things about you that you think are perfect. And vice versa, like that stuff can always be flip-flopped for other people, where you think your favorite traits are certain things and then someone else thinks the total opposite and thinks those are maybe your worst traits. Or they have a different set of favorite things about you and you have a different set of favorite things about another person. Like everyone's alignments will shift and change. Like even hobbies, right? You could be loyal to yourself by being loyal to your hobbies, but it doesn't have to be 100%ing that hobby all the time. That hobby isn't 100% of you, is it? It takes up maybe 2% of you, or 10% of you, 20, 50, however much percent of you, but you can piece that together. Or not. You can really, you don't have to dissect it and put numbers to it or weigh things out all the time. Really just do you. Hi, there's a little ant right here hanging out. And so I think you guys are just really building like who you guys really are, by accepting some of these things about you that maybe you neglected or refuse about yourself because it's not perfect. Maybe you guys 100%ed your loyalty on like one thing or a few things, right? You're like 100% like this is it. And then when it's not, it's like some of us are hitting existential crises where there's a big problem with how you'd been existing in your body, because we have straight shooter. It's not that straightforward. It's not that simple. And then some of us really like to just, this quick whip is really getting me like whipping things up like last minute or just because, or like, it's like there has to be a bit more planning than that. You can't just say things and then not be held accountable for it, or you can't just say you're gonna do it and then not do it. You know, like it's just like this. You can't just be putting in some quick work or like quick words and then not do the work behind it. The straight shooter is this energy of just next to this Ace of Sides too, I'm just really getting that there was player energy, that some of you had dogs, like horn dogs, lots of sexual energy that was being entertained that isn't necessarily worth being entertained. The straight shooters, like you had, like there was this Ace of Pentacles, this divine grant, and it was supposed to be simple and direct and straightforward and all that, but then it's not. It's not, because one individual or many individuals had lessons to learn, so it couldn't just be that straightforward. Some of you really messed something up by just having a little quickie or a little fling or a little blah, blah, blah because of what it looked like from your important person, from your VIP, like maybe the person that you really want, or the offering that was really meant for you, right? You couldn't see it. You couldn't believe it. You couldn't see it. You couldn't live it. There was a block. It could have been your own blockages, or it could have been something placed by another individual. But I'm getting like there was a little bit of trapping occurring. Because of what it looked like, or even trying to secure a situation, trying too hard to secure a situation. And it's like, sometimes when you try too hard or place too much energy somewhere, you end up doing something you're going to end up regretting, or you're going to end up doing something that's too much or not enough, like in the right placements. Because, like, for example, if it looked like one thing, let's say it looked like a betrayal, but it wasn't actually a betrayal, and then you take it into your own hands to do the same thing or betray them in a different way, you're forming the karma on yourself. They formed karma on themselves by maybe doing you wrong or doing you a certain way. But or so you think. Then if it actually isn't that, you've still created the karma or even doubled up on the karma. Because if it wasn't there in the first place, you first believed it was there, then second you did something believing that was there, and then now you've double placed karma on yourself. Some of this thing is like thinking that a trap or an obstacle or a thing that you set down was going to be like, it was going to be easy. Some of you thought that someone was going to be an easy target. Well, because maybe they're like me, they're a disabled, they're an amputee, or they have something that makes them physically or energetically different. It's like maybe different than you. And then like it's so wrongful to cast outward judgment, because that's this thing that was so wrong here, is that there was a straight shooter that just thought that they could just shoot and the target would be hit, and like it was just that. They thought it would be quick. They thought the situation would turn out in their favor, and it's like, no, it didn't. And maybe that's that shit where it brought someone to be from like a main, like one of your main peoples, to just being a side hoe or side whatever. Like, who cares about the side anymore once the entree is around? And that's sort of this energy here where I think some people feel like they're being left behind in pursuant of your loyalties, of what's important to you, of the love in your life. And that's totally fair. There are going to be people who are left behind. If they can't handle that, that's their own problem. They couldn't keep up. They couldn't catch up. They couldn't stay with it. They couldn't be honest. They couldn't whatever, XYZ. So now they're being left behind. Have no worry over these people, because if they were kept in your life, they would continue their cycles. Some of these cycles with one another are never going to end as long as you meet, as long as you're in this lifetime. And that's really saddening and disheartening. I really thought that I could be friends again with some of my old like enemies, or my old like just old connections, and I realized that they're always going to be that to me, and I'm always going to be whatever to them. Like, so one of those things of moving on is being able to heal and realize certain things about certain people, and that they're, as much as they have changed in your heart space, you will always see them how they were, because of the like whatever they've already done. You can't undo what they've done. You can't pretend like it hasn't happened, and that, you know, like, so then in the face of them, in person with them, it's one of those things where it could be triggering your traumas. It could be bringing up memories and shit that don't belong anymore. And it's like some people can stay in your life for a lifetime, but if they don't change or can't change, or you can't change your perspective of them, it's like this thing where separation is going to be the best thing. This ant is being a wonderful little ally here. Showing up, showing you guys are working on it. And that it's okay to be... See, like, where are the other ants? Like, this one's here by itself. So as much as ants stick together, there are times where they have to spend time alone so they could figure out those placements in your life. I think whatever conversation that was so condensed and impactful, and it was just right on the nail, like they really got it, they really understood the situation, and maybe someone understood the situation better, more, sooner, like just the timeliness, the weightedness with it, the scales were off. And that's normal. There is going to be disagreements, but it's like, consider your triggers and how often they're being, like, how often they're sounding off. And with any of these readings, if you are being led to, like, if a thought of a person comes up, consider the context that their name is showing up in, and open your eyes to your intuition speaking, your intuition being validated. If there is holes in your situation, give yourself space to let your 3D, your actual, like, living circumstance, fill in the rest of the missing holes, right? Sometimes you are guided and then it's not the entire guidance, because you're meant to co-create and work with your universe. You're not meant to have 100% guidance from the universe, and you're not meant to 100% be left on your own. As much as this ant was here by itself, roaming around in this card reading by itself, that ant is still going to go home to a community. So realize, like, your placements with certain things, like how much of being a loner do you deserve? How much do you deserve being connected with others? How much do people deserve your energy, and how much do you deserve your energy? Really, because this Hermit, some of you have stood alone for too long, or don't stand alone for long enough. The stuck in your ways is, there has to be a shift in an opposite direction, perhaps towards fun. In general, it doesn't have to be drinking fun, it doesn't have to be smoking, it doesn't have to be partying, but just whatever embodies the energy of fun for you. And that placements, I can list millions of things and not be able to read everyone, so maybe make your list of a top 10 of favorite things to do, and do at least a handful of them this week, or today, or next week. Whenever you feel is the right timing for anything, because maybe you'll choose to do one task today and choose to do a different task tomorrow. You know, I think that there is going to be trials and errors with certain things that we're applying ourselves to. We're going to be trying things and then being like, do I want to commit to this? Do I want to continue with this? Really wondering, like, should you continue a loyalty in this area? It could be new things or old things. Does this habit serve me? Does this invite serve me? Does going to this event, will that benefit me? And it doesn't have to only be about benefit, having some sort of thing given to you. You know, it could just be what's given to you is the experience. Whether it's good or bad, just having an experience is the thing. Not like, what can I get out of this? What can I get out of this? It's like, great, you can most definitely get something out of everything you do. But if you're in that mindset in all placements, and that's like that's where your loyalty is like, your loyalty is like, what can I get from people? That's not loyal. Like, there's an imbalance, because you're not showing like the reciprocal or like good energy towards people in your surroundings. And as much as like, that's just seeing an extreme, sort of, where you just can't have a disregard for others. That is a main. A lot of you cast energies off to the side when they don't serve you, or when they're not perfect in your life. And that's not fair either, because if you were treated that way, that would not be, you would not find that to be very nice or fair or anything like that. So some situations do need grace and space to be held, to uphold loyalty. That loyalty isn't necessarily always showing up and like always there, because you can, I've channeled this in other readings, where if you're helping someone too much, you're helping them be lazy. You're helping them not help themselves, essentially. And then you're also not helping yourself. So then it's double up on some dog shit in the bad context of things, like dog shit. That's like literally that's shit right there. That's some shit energy right there, of just helping someone too much. Even if they seem like they need help, they need to ask for help. They need to know and want the help in that placement. Otherwise, you helping them, they're not going to see that they should appreciate you, or it's not going to be as easily seen to hold space for gratitude, or hold space for announcing how awesome you are. I don't know, like, 'cause some of you do just wanted that recognition from your person, that you're special, or that they're loyal to you, or vice versa. Like that, maybe that's what your person needs. Like whatever it is, maybe the energy that is not in alignment is the placements of help, the placements of like loyalty, and understanding what loyalty fully means. And it's just like it really just means meeting the needs and wants of another and self as much as humanely possible. But the balances have to be at a place that is healthy for everyone. So it's like, yeah, meeting the needs and wants of another person, it can be done. Meeting both your own wants and needs and also the wants and needs of another person, that often gets done. But to continue that cycle is really hard. It's not that straightforward to be able to continue perfectly. You do have to settle for certain disagreements. You do have to settle for certain, like, we are both right. We both wanted different things, though. We both have different views, or like, and so it's just that agree to disagree, and not necessarily try and change anyone's mind, body, or spirit about it. And realizing, do we continue in the cycle now, or do we stop this cycle now that we know what we know, and blah 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 blah. Any caring individual would understand if you have had your feelings hurt and repeatedly hurt, and then you say goodbye. Especially if they know they made the offense, a caring individual would have words like that. And that is one of those interesting energies of a loyalty could be saying goodbye to someone because of how much hurt and pain is being placed. that if you or your person is a cause for pain, literally being loyal to you would be removing themselves in whatever placements they think. Maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's a sibling, or like, you know, like if they're seeing a lesson is not being taught, or if they're seeing that you're not growing, if they're seeing something, the greater picture of love and loyalty and all this is the hardest decision is sometimes the best decision for the circumstance. Especially if there was a ton of sides in the middle, a ton of like partial energies, someone being stubborn, someone not seeing, someone not being their best self, all this energy, it needs to be worked with and fixed, healed, understood, at the very least understood, so that there could be compassion, at least the chance for it. I'm totally down for some channeled messages, you guys. So this is White Rose Guidance, Divine Love Messages. There's one that was already flipped over, but I'm going to pay no mind and go for a fresh shuffle. So messages for the collective today to channel out their situation, to understand the situation. What does the collective need? Your words keep ringing in my head. So I was saying this about the Ace of Swords, that there was some communication that kind of really hit the nail on things. Maybe if it wasn't right away, then it happened like later when there was time and space to process how a conversation went. I find everything about you so pleasurable and irresistible. I am electrified by you. You feel like a warm home to me. I am terrified of you. So big time getting energy that this person or you is really afraid of having feelings, or catching feelings, or expressing feelings, or expressing self. No one lights me up and inspires me like you do. I cannot handle any more heartbreak. It could be this thing of like, your person's been in a deep, deep, deep connection before and was deeply pained from it. So when they experience deep happiness, they knew the same thing could happen again to them, and that's what really fucking scared them, because they never like had feelings deeper than what they had before, or even as deep as they had before, or anything similar to that. It just like they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do with the conversation. They didn't know what to do when you came in their life. There's just a lot of energy like this of just not knowing what to do, because maybe you weren't even part of the plan. Maybe this person intended to be single for a long time and didn't think they would meet their partner so soon. How can I ever pay you back? There's been money involved, I'm hearing. Not everyone's situation involves money, but this thing is like energetically. So I don't know if that stopped the video, but I had a timer go off, or one of my alarms go off. So that could have been a clarifier for you, is that energetically or financially, or however much you think there is like a return that is needed, that is desired. Maybe even like they want to make it up to you for anything that you've done for them, because maybe you are the type of person who would worship your person, or like make your person feel like on top of the world, essentially, like they are the world, you know, and like you make them feel that way, and then like that's what makes you perfect for them, is that you made them feel this way. However you did it, and so now they kind of want to return the favor to you, because it's like they didn't know how, and now maybe they've thought about it, and now they know how, and they want to show you. But it doesn't have to be that, because this isn't necessarily everyone's story. Everyone is going through a different thing, because some of you are still separated, some of you are still together and need to separate. Am I good enough for you? This question comes up a lot, probably for your person. They question themselves. They question the relationship, question a lot of things about a lot of things, not only in the connection, but in their life period, or you are healing my soul, but it is a work in progress. I'm hearing from your person or from source that you need, that patience is needed for the specifics, particularly about being a work in progress. Maybe it could be passion work, that your healing is in your work and that you're doing it at the same time. Your healing work and your actual work are happening at the same time. Maybe you're trying to fuse it together. Given for my touch, for my taste, for my lust. So someone wants you to maybe reconsider your boundaries. But that's up to you how much of that you want to give for that. Your beauty cascades over me. It's like they can't get over that. They can't get over how maybe physically attractive you are, but it transcends that. It's not just physical attraction. It's like your energy attracts them too. But it could be mostly physical attraction. Depends on the type of person you are and what things you are attracted to, because some it is about that, or it starts with that. Maybe it starts energetically and then it becomes physical. Maybe it's physical and then now it's energetic. Whichever one happened first, probably is what kind of got screwed in the connection, is when you try to transition to the next part, is what I'm hearing. Because it's like this energy of, if you had a physical connection before the energetic connection, then the energetic connection maybe was too intense or not intense enough and didn't match. Or vice versa, you had a physical energetic connection, and then the physical connection didn't line up. Like something about physical and emotional connection didn't line up for some. Some it's like one happened, and then when it came to the next thing, it's like, like not knowing what, like there was maybe a glitch. I'm hearing like glitch in the matrix, or like just some, like, it's like when you question it, it delays things. And so I think there was kind of a little bit of this of like, is this really my manifestation? Is this really like my next person, my next job, my next, like, what? And then when you don't believe that it's yours or for you or anything like that, you end up not doing anything towards it. You end up giving up on it, or you end up not, like, maybe disappointing the situation. Like something happened here with the last conversation in the space. Could be at work, could be with your partner, but it's like a very important conversation happened, and it's like there was a maybe disagreement or misalignment with the perspective. Messages for the collective. These are messages of love, Oracle, but nothing's come out yet, so I wonder if there's just the exact card Spirit is waiting for the collective. All right, here we go. Thank you. Fate. This is a destined partnership. So, but what I'm getting with this is that the partnership is like the connection was destined to have the lesson be what it is. It's not necessarily that you're like, oh, this is my soulmate, this is my love of my life, this is my, like, you choose that. To some degree, it's like, yeah, fate brings you two together, but you still get the option of choosing whether or not you stay together or be together or give it a chance or anything like that. So it's like, this is a destined partnership. You don't just meet people by accident. You don't just meet people just because. Like, you meet people and you have experiences with them because they're meant to show you or teach you something. And so with this rejection, it could be that you're learning about the divine, where it's divine love, divine protection, divine anything. It's bigger than you. And so if you don't sit in your ego and sit in your human body and be like, oh, woe is me, they rejected me because I'm a disabled body, or they rejected me because I'm like, fill in the blank. Don't do that to your human form, to your ego form. Be bigger and know that source, angels, God, your ancestors, your past loved ones saw something in the situation that you couldn't have seen. Some behind the scenes shit, some bullshit, some stuff that maybe would happen in the future. Like whatever it is, the reason why things happen is because it's protecting somebody, or it's in love for somebody, or karma for somebody in by divine means, by like divine intervention and that kind of bullshit. And that's like kind of where karma comes into play, hand in hand with the divine. The divine navigates karma as well as you do. What I was saying about like co-creating with the universe, it's not all you, it's not all the universe either. If you think the universe isn't helping you, maybe it's just because you've taken too much from the universe and it's your time to give back. Or you've given too much and you need to, settle down on how much you've given and let yourself be able to receive, be in a place of receptivity. But this divine protection is like, when I was saying that my button popped off of my outfit in front, like right before an interview, that day was also a Melly Monday, telling me not to work anywhere else but with Magic with Melly. And so that is that divine protection of the divine was protecting Melly Mondays. The divine was protecting Magic with Melly by popping off a button. And that's all it took. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have to worry about this interview before even stepping in. And this like healing old wounds, childhood issues need revisiting. Maybe one of the things about the conversation was about healing and telling someone about their healing. Maybe it wasn't taken very well. There was denial about the level of healing or the type of healing or the fact that there was even healing needed. And when that happens, there is resistance, there is rejection, there is a problem when there is someone not being heard or someone not receiving the healing or not, just something wasn't right. Okay, and then there's maybe further denial about something being off, whether it's by you or your person or the situation. Being like, this person did this, no they didn't, or I didn't, or like whatever denials there are. It's like the fact that there's denials, period. It's like, you can't deny the truth. It just won't escape you. Many of you are individuals who quiet their intuition, even ignore their intuition, and then suddenly it's shouting at you in your 3D. You're seeing literal validation of your intuition, and then you have a conversation and there's further denial, and then that becomes gaslighting. That becomes extreme cases of narcissism. That becomes extreme cases of having like a big ego. That becomes a big case of denying you or your person or everyone involved what they actually need or what they actually want. Because if this person is like saying, oh, you're being disloyal, or I'm questioning whether or not you're loyal, and you're like, nah, like no, like you don't consider what they're saying, well, they're like coming to you with words like that for a reason. So you need to consider like maybe where it's coming from, even if your denial is truth. for you, it's not truth for them. So you can't deny anyone's truth, whether it's yours or another's. Like if you're trying to make it work with another person, don't deny someone else's truth. Even if it's not your truth, it's their truth. So you can't override that. And that's this thing of like timing's not right because the alignment's not there. And you can come back into alignment by healing, you or your person, or, you know, together or separately. You guys will have to decide if what you guys are capable of performing together and also separately. This card was on the floor. It's called the Unholy One. So donuts could be significant, but it's like someone has been, or no, it says the Holy One, not unholy. Someone has been unholy. Someone's used their hole or holes in very just inappropriate ways, or put their thing in a hole in inappropriate ways, whatever, however that resonates for you. But it's like this energy of the Holy One's kind of like the player played everyone except for the one. And the one is what they want, you know, and it's like they couldn't successfully play the one, so they lost the one. So now they have to do something to make it up to the one. That's a message for I don't know everyone's placements. You guys kind of have to tell me more sometimes, but I'm just channeling what I'm seeing here with this Holy One. And then it looks like there's a toaster or a mailbox with a question mark. So it's like this thing doesn't know what it is. And so maybe you really didn't see that you were a match made in heaven, or like that this person was your one until you messed it up with your one. Because it could be that energy of understanding who you used to be and who you are now versus who you want to be in the future, because we are met with tests in all those placements. Are you really healed? Does this still affect you? Or did you really move on? Does this still affect you? That kind of shit happens all the time. And so you need to be really strong in your manifestations and really strong with what you want, and make sure that what you want knows that you want it. Because you could definitely do more with what you know. So then if you say, oh, I like you to someone, or I love you, or, you know, say an affirmation towards someone, they have the chance to be able to say it back. Sometimes if you didn't even say it to begin with, there's no chance to hear it back. Alrighty. Let's get some synchronicities out. So this is synchronicities for the collective. What's the collective need on this day in love, respect, and protection? In divine guidance here with Magic with Melly. What does the collective need to see, read, or experience in this deck for their highest good and to resonate with the situation? We have Red Rose, love, passion, romantic, innocent, enchantment. So it looks like that someone is enchanted by you for sure, and they kind of want to keep their feelings for you innocent and pure, or that it should remain innocent and pure. So if there's been anything to kind of get in the way of that, you need to sort of bring back purity, clear out the issue that kind of started it. You could be given a rose, or roses could be significant for you. You may have a tattoo, or you may draw roses, have art that's roses, have clothing with roses. There could be significance in the connection with roses. Bridge, conquer, progress, overcome, and reanalyze. We have Veil, Naive, Hidden Secrets, Illusion. Clarify. Give us some more on the secrets, please. Tell us about this red rose and bridge and veil, please. Pink and bones. Clarify. Any more messages here for the collective? I'm getting a lot of pink out, and pink is not the only color in this deck, by the way. So that's like very interesting. You guys are in tune with your feminine energy is what I'm hearing from Spirit, even though there's not really anything validating specifically here. I just really feel like you guys are feeling more in your feminine, nurturing, emotional energy rather than being guarded or having a mask or having some sort of, like, I'm just hearing that there's ego death occurring. But we have love, passion, romantic, innocent, enchantment, conquer, progress, overcome, reanalyze on the red rose and bridge card. On veil, it says naive, hidden secrets, and illusion. On the pink card, it says compassion, love, femininity. Oh, femininity. There you go. Playfulness, emotional, more on emotions, timid, immature, unconfident, sympathetic, nurtures, comforts, kindness, warmth, romance, and intuition. Pink is very playful feeling and romantic feeling. Bones, solid, tough, strong, resilient, indestructible. Beard, wisdom, maturity, confident, mysterious. 000, wholeness, new beginnings, raise your vibration, clean slate, you are not alone, and possibilities. More cards for clarifying the situation, please. Let's see what else for the collective in their reading for their highest good. Messages for us. Eggs, new life, fertility, new start, and celebration. And flame. Let's see an overall energy, please, for the collective. I'm done with this deck. I don't want to take these extra ones. So that's it for that deck for now. We have 1313, Wasp, Hummingbird, and Flame. So an egg cleanse could be significant, or eggs could be significant for you. Maybe you make eggs, or your person makes eggs, and they're delicious because we have the food cards, you know. So maybe your person's a foodie, or you are a foodie and you enjoy the food that your person makes, or your person likes the food that you make. But that's not the only messages with the eggs. You could be celebrating an announcement with birth, or celebrating like the start of something with, like, it could be you're creating your business, creating the things that you would create in your hobby. Maybe you're creating new life, literally, like that birth energy. Or maybe even celebrating your life, celebrating the lives of others. Maybe birthdays are significant. 1313, mutual support, inspiration, explore creativity, peace, serenity, escaping toxic relationship, transformation, end of a cycle. Wasp, envy, anger, evil eye, jealousy, repressed emotion. Hummingbird, magic, desire, harmony, high vibration. And flame, chaos, motivation, compulsion, and eternal love. So your person could have a beard, or you could have a beard. You could be dealing with someone in your past that has a beard that wants to impede in, like, where you're trying to be loyal right now. Wisdom, mysterious. It's like someone feels very confident about the situation, but it's like it's not showing yet. Maybe they have yet to admit that they're a secret admirer of yours because they don't want something to break. They don't want, like with bones, they want it to be strong. If they're gonna do anything, it has to be worth it to this person. If they start anything, if they start or do anything, I'm hearing from Spirit, it has to seem or look worth it. Some people probably won't make a move until they see a sign from you. Some people, they've seen a sign that it's a time to end a toxic relationship, but it's dependent on like what you want or what you're seeing in your life. If you're in a toxic relationship, this is your message to end that cycle so that your person can come in and give you all these things. Because notice this is the only blue card. And there's only one white card. And everything else around it's pink. So it's like, this is all stuff that you probably want. Whether you're actually receiving all of it or some of it is really like, you can say that placement. I can't necessarily say that it's too specific for some individuals. It would make the video hella lengthy. But what I'm getting with all these pink cards is that it's what you're trying to manifest is what I'm getting from Spirit, is like this energy, or you have manifested some of this. Maybe you manifested all of this and it just came out all chaotic, and or you have some of your manifestations and you need more of it, like whatever it is. You have a new beginning coming in that will fulfill all of this, but you are afraid of being alone. You're afraid of the possibilities in the aftermath. You have jealous individuals in your energy for sure, and that's a manifestation that occurs no matter what you do. But the happier you are, the worse it will get. So you have to be more protected as well. The more love you draw in, the more protection you also have to have in alignment with that. So just be careful when you're in a high vibe. It is going to cause some chaos. We have motivation, compulsion, and eternal love, though. But it's like, this is beautiful energy because the only thing on this card you have to worry about is chaos. But chaos can be ridden through. Like, it could be actually quite fun to ride the waves, as long as you can actually navigate it. You gotta be... I'm hearing Smooth Seas Don't Make Good Sailors, that song. It's a pop punk song. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, maybe I'll link it for you, or we can, so you can listen to it. That's the purpose. But I really noted it for the message is like, smooth seas don't make good sailors. You do have to ride the waves and ride through a storm. And that's what shapes a good sailor, is like learning like what to do in your worst times, not just when things are smooth sailing. The smooth sailing that's the easiest thing. That person doesn't have to do very much. But when it's hella rocky, that's what shapes the sailor. And that's this thing of, you're in some really beautiful energy, and what's surrounding you is probably what's breaking or moving around your manifestations, right? And I'm saying moving around like they're being delayed, or they're like going to somewhere else or something. Like there's a shift, right? And it's like, you're like, I want my stuff. Like, where's my person? Where's my stuff? And it's like, maybe it's just this thing where you won't get it until you'll be able to handle it without sabotaging it, without placing unnecessary struggle, without placing, or even just being able to fully appreciate it. Some experiences have to happen first so you can appreciate what's really yours. 626. That's what came up on my watch. So that's a angel number for you if you needed it. 6s and 2s. What is the universe trying to teach me right now with this twin flame relationship? Twin flames is like they are mirroring your lesson. And it doesn't have to be the same specific or the same placement, but that they're mirroring the lesson. So if you're learning a parent, like an inner child situation with a parent, maybe your person is also healing that, but it could be a different parent. Or maybe they are a parent and they're going through the same lesson, but now like they had a situation with their parent, but now in this lifetime they're dealing with it as they are a parent, and maybe you're dealing with it as with your parent and you're the child, and the person that you're like your intimate partner, maybe they're the parent and they have a child, or flip it flop it. Could be a lot of things, okay? But it's like the twin flame relationship, that energy with the twin flames is mirroring your lesson back. They're going through the exact same lesson as you are at the same times. And that's how you know someone is a soulmate. And I'm not saying like you should be trauma bonded by them by any means, but that you could tell that they are a soulmate because they'll go through a very, very, very similar, they'll go through the exact same thing as you, but it'll be a little bit different. And you guys will be able to bond or like understand or know each other on a level deeper than anybody else because you guys went through that journey synchronistically. Repeat to yourself quietly and often, wealth. So if you want wealth, make it a mantra, make it an affirmation. Addictions, think about the emotions you are trying to cover up. Deal with the emotions, process, heal, and release them. This one says, if the relationship makes you feel depleted, exhausted, and emotionally drained, maybe it's time to let go. Some of you are addicted or just in a comfort zone with the relationship. And this time to let go is like, let go of how things should be. Let go of the location, let go of the person, let go of the time, let go of whatever's tiring about it. Codependency is as real as it gets. When I feel overwhelmed and not in control, my behaviors become manic and compulsive. Some of you, this happens when you don't have a hold of your person. That you are draining yourself trying to figure out what your person's doing instead of like, it's just this impulsive, compulsive, manic, like just this interesting behavior that happens with codependency because you don't know how to behave or operate without them. It could be you've been in these relationships or cycles with your partner or people involved for a while. It could not just be only like we could be talking about many layers or many peoples here, because this is all about loyalty. So you could be loyal to your family, loyal to a partner, loyal to work, loyal to friends. Sometimes some people don't deserve how loyal you are. Like it's like that. What's shitty is blind loyalty. Being loyal to someone no matter what, even if they have bad intentions. That's like where you see some fuck shit with TV shows and like Game of Thrones or any kind of like thing where there's like a hierarchy. Maybe there is a hierarchy. Maybe there is like a thing in the community where it goes from like there's leaders and then there's like people who are below that, and then if your person was paying too much attention to a leader but they weren't actually a good leader, they were a bad leader, then it's like that loyalty's misplaced. That loyalty is like some fuck shit. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. There's layers and layers of loyalty misplacements there, but it's like if someone didn't have good intentions and then they just followed them, what they said or did, without fully thinking or processing about it, that's what the issue is then the action wasn't really theirs. Then there's resentful. I was gonna say resentment, as like that card actually validated me right there, saying like you'll have resentment over your own actions, or even resentment towards someone else's actions because of like they just followed suit of somebody else or something else. And maybe that's what happened here because of the codependency, just being dependent or too dependent on someone or something for something, right, on behalf of something. So it's like sometimes we're dependent on someone because they provide for us financially. Maybe we're dependent on someone because when we first met them, they really boosted our confidence, really boosted our ego, but then at some point their own life has to come back into play. And then they left you behind to live their life again. And maybe it wasn't even like forever. It was like maybe even literally for 30 minutes or an hour or like a few hours, and they unraveled because they didn't know what to do without you boosting their ego, or without you validating them in some way in this codependent cycle. But if that's your story, take it. But if there's some areas where it's not your story and it's for somebody else, like just learn your lessons. Or even if it's not your lesson, maybe you learned your lesson in the past and the lessons are just here as a reminder. Maybe some of these are new concepts. Maybe some of these are concepts for your person and you need to understand maybe what they're going through. Whatever the placements are, just make sure you guys are taking care not to apply something inappropriately, is all I'm saying there. But okay, so more on the cards. It says, when I feel overwhelmed and not in control, my behaviors become manic and compulsive. Master abundant thoughts and your subconscious mind will call it to the universe. So excessive bad thoughts and excessive good thoughts, the universe will transmute or manifest on your behalf. Just make sure that you are smiling and being radiant in your energy and what you truly want. So don't manifest based off of someone else. You know, if someone has a favorite hobby or interest, don't be faking that you have that same hobby and interest when you actually don't, because then your manifestations are for them and not for you. Even though you manifested it, it doesn't mean that it's yours if you are following suit of somebody else. We have smile, your beauty radiates that way. Resentful, think loving thoughts for the person or yourself that you resent. It's restricting your emotional happiness. So you definitely want to avoid causing resentment, and that happens when you sort of lead yourself out of your own energy for too long. That's usually what happens, is you hold resentment because you're not in your own energy and the actions that you took weren't even true of yourself. So just avoid that for you and your person. Make sure that you actually want to do something that your person likes and not just doing it for them. And there is a good amount of doing it for them, and that's like a loving gesture and seeing them happy because you're doing it. Like that kind of energy is priceless, of like sharing that energy together. But too much of that, too much following in someone else's hobby because you saw it make them happy, like it's not really something that makes you happy. It's only on behalf of them. So you showing up in that hobby or in that space is to love them, but then maybe you love them for too long and not loved yourself, right? Like you forgot how to love yourself because you were too busy loving them, and they like kind of forgot how to love you because they didn't have to they didn't have to know how to love themselves, or like something like that, with this like displacement of help and this displacement of love, loyalty. Like if there's an imbalance, then it's placed in funky places. I'm over here. I think you are unique. Own it. I can look at you for hours and feel so many positive emotions. I had that thought and you spoke it into the 3D. So sometimes you guys finish each other's sentences, but sometimes someone's intuition is just like crazy, like maybe future telling, or even like you just maybe can read each other's minds maybe, or even just predict when something's going to happen, because certain things are very predictable. Envy, sometimes when something's obvious or predictable, then the envy, remind yourself that no one has it all. It's okay to celebrate others' success. You truly are good enough. It's like someone who thinks that they have it all, or you have it all, or the situation has it all. Then like, you have to be careful of that, because they may they may have uncontrollable envy and then be placing all sorts of funky action based off of jealousy to try and get what you have in their hands, or just get what you have out of your hands. It doesn't have to go into their hands, but just like, it just irritates them. I don't know, something like that. Like, something about having it all. It's like, no one has it all, but like, it's like this not seeing that like everyone's good enough as they are, and we don't have to take from anybody to have it, like it all. We don't have to you know, we have it all already, kind of a thing. Like, it's hard to channel the energy of envy. Why am I overthinking? I know the answer once I quiet my thoughts. Do I deserve to be disrespected when I was trying to be nice? Sex to avoid the problem is just that, avoiding the problem. And wealth and prosperity flow easily to me. So 2 cards on wealth. So I love that. Validating energy for you guys. If you need the money to be stable, you will be protected. I am tired of the arguments. Everything was triggering me. Boundaries. Develop healthy boundaries to make sure you are emotionally and mentally stable. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to your situation. It's okay to say no to your person. It's okay to say no to your job. It's okay. I'm hearing you could literally say words like, that's not in my pay grade. You could literally say like, that crosses my boundaries. You could literally say, I have a boundary surrounding that, so I therefore don't want to go. You know, like, you could say, like, make up phrases like that that would be fitting for your situation, because whatever like, your boundaries are yours. So speaking on behalf of them and knowing when they've been disrespected or respected, you navigate that. So make sure if someone crossed your boundaries, not to let them do that again. Because what happens when you show them it's okay to cross boundaries, that there will be no consequence or, you know, anything like that, well, then they're going to do it again. They're going to feel like it's safe to do it again. And so you got to make sure someone does you dirty, it's not safe to do you dirty. You know, like that kind of energy. So just, yep. And this card, I am love. When you love yourself, you don't let your boundaries be crossed that easily. Okay, so these were the pre-shuffled. And I have that Moldavite hanging out with it. So this card says Miracles, Rainbow Waterfall, 31. Unicorn, Purity, 45. Pure Spirit, Purification, 30. Wood Nymph, Beauty, 52. And Dragonfly Spirit, Change, number 12. So you could see significance with unicorns, rainbows, waterfalls, wood, or dragonflies. You could also be resonating with the numbers 3, 5, 4, and 2. If you want a miracle to happen in your situation, you do have to clean out what's not serving you. Because those things are taking up space that the miracle would be placed in. So it's like this purity, purification, cleaning, maybe cleaning your space, cleaning up your connections, cleaning up at work, cleaning up maybe your physical body, like really taking care of things and noticing the beauty in the journey and in literally all things in your surroundings, whether it is a good or bad context, that there is beauty in it, that when you look backwards in time, in your life experiences, your life journey, it is rather poetic. And when you think about some things that at that time you didn't think you could live through, or that you wouldn't know certain things, or I don't know, like there's a lot of placements of at the time that you're experiencing it, you just didn't know. And then when you look back at that time and you think about like all the other events surrounding it or related, you realize that the change was for the better, or the change was healthy, or you realize that change is good. You realize that there is beauty in change, and that in the aftermath, your life is very poetic, that the bad complemented the good and the good complements the bad, even if experiencing the bad really sucks. And then even if experiencing the good, you like it ends, and you have to, we have like this sort of bittersweet energy with it. You reflect. You have to work on your relationship healing. We have to be able to remove obstacles in our way and work on the abundance in our environment and work on the unconditional love that resides within us. These are all messages that are happening from the archangels, Archangel Jeremiel, Archangel Raquel, Raquel, and Lord Ganesha, Archangel Ariel, and Archangel Shamuel, sorry. My bad. It's the cursive on here that I got that as Chanel, but it's actually Archangel Shamuel. So it's like unlocking your heart healing, unlocking your relationship healing, whether it's with a parent or usually it starts with your parents, but you get triggered in your relationship. So maybe you understand something about yourself or about your parents or about your partners or about your situation just by healing in your connections. Maybe you talk about family or personal stuff at work, okay, and you realize that maybe you need to kind of calm down in that energy and maybe harmonize more with you're at work, you're not in your personal life, and then maybe you're having visions or dreams about what's manifesting or about your situation, and it's like you're being shown how to remove obstacles. You're being shown the guidance towards the person or towards your situation on your daily basis and also in your dreams. And you have to tap into the abundance of the earth and the abundance of yourself that you are in access of. The power is literally in your hands. Like, you press buttons, you can send applications, you could send DMs, you can have conversations. Like, you could do a lot of things more than you know or more than you are taking in. We have guinea pig. Do your part to illuminate the universe. There is going to be trial and errors. Literally make people your guinea pigs. Make yourself a guinea pig. Make certain projects guinea pigs. Try it out. With this guinea pig, we call it guinea pig. I don't know why. We say like, oh, would you be my guinea pig for this? Like, why do we call it that? I don't truly understand the notion there. But it's here, right? As an archangel, as Archangel Mary is saying, do your part and the universe will reflect the back. We have Kingfisher, be patient and focused. Tiger, accept your magnificence. Elephant, open yourself to true abundance. Archangel Raphael and Archangel Mary repeat here. And so does Archangel Bokpi. So we have the Camel card, be forbearing and patient. Parrot, listen intently to understand. I think a lot of miscommunications and like displacements in loyalty and love has a lot to do with not fully listening. Like, when you listen, some of us listen to respond, and it should be more so a listening to understand, and then you can respond. So understanding and patience comes first. Then you can fully, better have better placements with the love and loyalty and things like that is when you understand your person, have patience with your person, or in the workspace, or wherever the placements are for that. We had parrots repeat last reading, and so we have parrot again here. Lots of pink, lots of green, lots of purple. So I think you guys need to follow your intuition and manifest, like do more in the manifesting and the action base. So someone could be 31 or born in 1981. Someone could be born in 1990 or they are 40. Messages for the collective. Someone could be 64 or 14, or you could have a kid that is 14, or something happened when you were 14, or something happened in 1990. Whenever, like, you could take these however they work for you. These are just numbers and more synchronicities from a makeshift deck of, it's a learning deck for kids, but I made it into a deck that I can read from, so that's awesome. I merged more than one deck together. So someone can also be 26 or be born in 1976, or, you know, what if you see a number that is significant for you here, then take that also. I can't possibly read every single detail, so if your intuition says something, take it. So yeah, and that could be for any colors, numbers, symbols, anything that you see that I didn't speak on. Just make, you know, if it's for you, it's for you. If you saw it and you think it's for you, it's yours. So don't let anything get in the way of your own self, guiding yourself a certain way. If I'm guiding you, you know, and I'm saying a totally different story, and it's probably for someone else, and so you can have your story placed in there too. You could have someone who is 61, born in 1961, or 11, or born in 2011, because I think 1911 is a little too far back. So maybe those numbers are significant. Maybe there is important days that are happening on the 11th, the 26th, the 14th, or there's no 40, but you know, like any important numbers like that. If there was a significant event that happened on a month and these days, then take that. If that resonates for you, then it resonates for you. Messages here for the collective. We have rabbit or the letter R. So that letter or that animal could be significant for you, because with the rabbit and the sexual energy, it could be that you guys were making love like bunnies, like, you know, like rabbits, you know, like you know how like rabbits reproduce a lot, like that movie, like how you see in that movie, what is it called now? Zootopia. And she has like so many siblings. So Zootopia, that movie could be significant, and that message has a lot of good messages on being different or experiencing adversity of any kind. So you could go on and watch that. Maybe there's a message for you in there. Oh my goodness, there's so many cards, like trying to, okay. Okay, we have a duck. So duck, we had a duck repeat last reading as well. So ducks could be significant. There could be significance with rubber duckies in the bath, or the bath time. Maybe there's importance on bath time with you and your kid if you have a kid, or you and your parent if you have a parent. House or H, that could be significant. Some of you in the collective are interested in buying a house or building your house, and so this is that validating message of if you're working on that, continue working on it. And we have worm or the letter W. You do have someone who resonates with this energy where they kind of like try and get into, like, I'm hearing bookworm, or like, I don't know, like they are slimy, and then they come out when it's raining. So I think there is just some sort of bad energy that's happening, and they come out when bad is occurring for you. Maybe they make your situations worse and you don't know it and you need to see it. Maybe the way to see it is seeing them as a worm or someone who identifies as a worm, or I don't know, some significance with the W and worm here. Orange. Someone's favorite color could be orange, or their favorite fruit is orange, or their name starts with an O, or someone's name starts with any of these letters. It could be that it's just really juicy up in the situation. We have xylophone, sounding off, and 29 or 79. So someone could be born in 1979 or be 29 years old. Someone coming in, or the person you're dealing with, or you. Xylophone's like that sound off on your true colors is what I'm getting. Like sound off on who you really are. Like speak up on that. Again, with the juice, we have orange juice now. This says J, so the letter J could be significant for a name. And we have 23 or 1973 or 73. I don't know, some of these numbers are significant for different reasons other than the year and the day or the numbers, so just take them if they are something else for you. We have jet, so some stuff's going to be coming in fast here, either communication, manifestations, some movements really going to be occurring. Even maybe there could be a message in the sky, there could be that maybe you're flying, maybe you are traveling, maybe you want to travel, maybe around elf. Okay, elf, like I'm getting elf on the shelf, like maybe around the holiday time. Something will have manifested by then, a relationship or a different job. Keep in mind of what's gonna occur surrounding the rest of the year is what I'm really getting. Something's coming in the rest towards the end of the year for the collective. So just keep it together, hold your stuff down. Goose. G. A mother figure could be important here because I'm getting that, I'm hearing mother goose, and then this is a child's learning deck, so maybe we're looking for motherly energies, or maybe we need to heal a mother connection, whether it's a baby mama or your mom, or you are a mom. Any other messages here for the collective? Igloo. So the situation definitely went cold, or like it just went but okay, so 1982, 82, 32, 1993, 43, 18, 1968, or 68. I don't know, some of these numbers could be significant for, maybe it's the total of a transaction, maybe it's a number on your receipt, maybe it's gonna be something for you guys. So keep a lookout for your manifestations. They will come in very interesting and unique ways. You do have to look for them though. Some manifestations aren't obvious and some manifestations are really obvious. You take that stuff into your own hands. Everything surrounding it should be with love, loyalty, trust, honesty, like all that good shit. If you want it to be good, you got to be good. So that this is your ending message. Look for 5s is what I'm getting from Spirit. I love that the card is red, so really bringing in stability in the root chakra. But today, that was all the messages. Thank you so much for being with me. This was Magic with Melly, and you guys are magic. Goodbye.